slow, deep, easy breaths. This morning I was woken before the sun. When I checked the time and decided to get up, it was 5:55 a.m. The last week or so I've been seeing fours everywhere, and I asked my guides to give me confirmation in the layout for the course I'm downloading, and everything was in the most effective order to get the results that we agreed we wanted when offering this course to others. So I've been asking to see fours to get confirmation from Spirit that everything was as so and I could move to the next step. But then this morning there were fives there. I am so grateful to notice the signs that Spirit uses to speak. Symbology is so important. We find ourselves now on a time on the planet where symbology is most important. And the reason why is because we find ourselves in the age of misinformation, where words cannot be trusted. Words coming from other people, they cannot be trusted. Words written on a screen, they cannot be trusted. Words and confirmations, truths, so-called truths, coming from all the experts, they cannot be trusted. And so what can be trusted? Symbology, the abstract, that which bypasses the conceptual mind and touches you in a deeper place beyond your rational mind, can be trusted. That which you can feel in your body as a knowing, that can be trusted. Your intuition can be trusted. The sunrise can be trusted. The sunset can be trusted. And so we find things and we look for things that have some truth left to them. And for me, the most important thing to always look for is my own heart, for it is always leading me along the path of least resistance, my most graceful path, the pathway where I have the highest opportunity to grow, to evolve, and to contribute to the greater good, can be found only by going deeper into my heart space. It cannot be found by going deeper into my logical, conceptual mind. If that were true, then the world would not be where it was, and we would have evolved past chaos and destruction. And so, for me, as I sit and watch the sunrise, what can be trusted the most is the feeling of peace I have. The feeling of knowing I have that this is a new day and I can do what I like with it. I can decide the tone, the frequency, the focus, the attention. I sit and I watch the sunset and I recognize that each day is a reset if I choose it to be. And I can most definitely determine the kind of day I want, the kind of energy I want around me. What a wonderful comfort it is to trust my own feelings, to trust this feeling of peace I have as I watch the sunset. I can't argue that feeling as I watch the sunrise. That is truth. And so what truth are you finding today that is undeniable, that cannot be debated and debunked? Is it the truth of your smile? Is it the truth of your magnificent reflection? Is it the truth of your eyes and how when others look at them, they are inspired simply by gazing upon you? Is it the truth that your laugh radiates high vibrations out into the field around you? Is it the truth that every time you press your feet against the ground, you connect to the consciousness of Gaia? Hello, beautiful ones. Nice to see you again. This is Eliza Kendall coming to you from Bundjalung Nation country in northern New South Wales, Australia. It is a Thursday. I think it's the 8th of October 2020. And here we find ourselves continuing on with the year of great transformation. The Great Awakening is in play. It is occurring, of course. For many of us, it has been worked towards and worked on and waited for lifetimes, eons and eons. You've been incarnating to contribute to this very now moment. And as I say that, I'm curious if you are celebrating. Are you celebrating? Are you saying, hell yes, we're doing it, it's here, it's time, it's happening? Just in this moment right now, I'm feeling to encourage you and remind you, when you get caught up in the little things, when you get kind of caught up in dissecting and pulling apart things that have been said or things that have been done or things that other people have said or things that other people have done, to go somewhere where you can have a lot of space in your vision, as in view a lot of sky, get up on the roof if you have to safely, of course, go to a view, or take yourself in your visualization to the top of a mountain and just spend some time looking at a very wide spaciousness. It will allow you to move out and essentially transcend the small stuff and move into the big picture, so that you can notice that the planet is in chaos, because we are in the middle of the Great Awakening, and this is a time that we can celebrate. And while the work is still being done, and there is much change and much chaos, and there is turmoil and there is pain and there is trauma that is being released, and there is conflict and there is arguments and there is great separation, we are in the darkest days before the dawn. In fact, I want to say the dawn is so close. I can feel it. I hope you can feel it too. I'm holding on to that feeling, and I'm continually adding into that trajectory as much as I can. I'm watching my human self to notice when she gets like stuck in the small things, when she kind of loses her vision, and this happens, you know. The blinders go on, and I'm monitoring myself, and I'm knowing and accepting that no matter how much work you've done on yourself, and no matter how spiritually or emotionally involved or intelligent you are, there's still deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper levels of transcendence and transformation to be done. I have just heard something I want to share with you from the superconscious has just shared that for some of us in this lifetime, because of the state of the planet right now and all the changes that are occurring, some of us are paying back karma in this one life that would normally take 10 lives to pay back. So, particularly those who have an affinity with the time of Atlantis. Those of you that reincarnated in the time of Atlantis and have chosen to come back here, it is most likely that you are doing 10 years worth of karma work on behalf of your ancestry and the lineage that you're doing in one life. So I also want to say, give yourself a break. You're doing so well. You're doing so well. It's really epic stuff right now. It is the year of death and resurrection. And hallelujah to that. let it die. I say let it die so that we can rebuild and refocus. And I want to talk about that in a minute. But before we get to the rebuilding and the creating of the new, we are still required and called to continually look at that which is in ourselves, that is time to surrender, that is time to dissolve, that is time to release into the past, and to recall all of our life force energy into this very now moment so that we can be of the greatest service possible. And you can't be of the greatest service possible if your soul is spread out all over the place and you are kind of dispersing your energy to many different people. And you are, I want to say, trying to insist that many people pick up your viewpoints and that you are hanging on to the need to be right. You're simply not going to be able to be of the greatest service. What is required to be of the greatest service is taking full responsibility for your own shadow work, taking full accountability for that which you put out into the space in front of you, be it from your thoughts or your words, or simply just project it out with your energy. Also, fluidity, allowing the self to be malleable, allowing the self to recalibrate to the present moment, not assuming that anything that you have learned up until now is truth, frankly. Checking everything. It is time now to check everything. I was watching K Patch this morning and he talked about, the tune-up happening being kind of like, you go to the mechanic and you take your car to the mechanic, which is, your everything. And you're like, I just need a little tune-up. And the mechanic's like, actually, you're going to need a new engine and a new gearbox and some new brakes and headlights and the whole kit and caboodle. This is absolutely what's happening. And I'm sure you can see and understand how this is playing out and how this needs to play out. The old ways need to die off, and they can't just die off in the external, they need to die off in the internal as well. So that's why for the whole year and continuing into 2021, if you haven't already, please do so. It is so important that you turn within, you remove external stimuli, you stop believing what the television tells you, what politicians tell you, even what doctors tell you. I know it's tricky. I understand it's a really, really, really big pill to swallow, but I just want you to think about if you find yourself in a place where the history that you've been taught in school cannot be trusted. The political leaders don't have your best interests at heart. The pharmaceutical companies cannot be trusted. The media cannot be trusted. The medical institutions that we thought were on top of it and had our best interests at heart cannot be trusted. If we find ourselves in this position, what do we do? What is there? Where do we turn to? Where is truth? It is within, dear friends. The only truth exists inside of you, and I can tell you that everything you've ever wanted to know, every truth you've ever wanted to debunk and understand can be found inside of your own subconscious mind. It is all stored in there. It is literally stored in your cells. Access to all the knowledge you could ever want. And what is required for you to have access to that is your own stability, your own mental focus, and your choice to transcend the external stimuli and move up into your heart space to awaken the high heart chakra and to witness yourself in that place and to know that you are not your beliefs. You are not your identity. You're not your body. You're not your religion. You're not your gender. You're not your race. You're not even your thoughts or your actions or your moral code. You are in fact a soul who is witnessing and choosing those actions and that moral code. And if you are a soul first and foremost, if the moral code and the identity and the belief structures come on top of that, then what is being asked for us now is to pause everything that we are, and including our moral code, pause all of it and consider if it aligns with what our soul is saying. And the only way you can really access the soul and its communication is to just listen really, really, really deeply inside of yourself. And if you're so full of other stuff, if You're so full of other information, and you're trying to debunk all of these things that you've been told, and you're trying to access the same platforms of information that were used to lie to you and to create the illusion. Then you're going to continue being confused and sort of churning and churning around in the illusionary forces. Instead, turn your attention within. Begin to listen deeply. And also the other thing, apart from listening deeply within, is listening to the earth, listening to Gaia, paying attention to the elements. Notice the symbology of what presents to you in the present moment right now. Everything I have learned that is, I want to say, transformational, has been confirmed by simply witnessing Gaia's intelligence. I watch, I pay attention. Someone shares something with me, a great spiritual teacher shares something with me, and I go, cool, feels kind of interesting. I'm just going to witness now and see if what comes in front of me, in the symbology, in the movements of the planet, in the way that the elements work together, in the way that animals understand themselves and their relationship to the earth and the elements around them. All the confirmation is there. It suddenly becomes so obvious how to live harmoniously with all life on the planet. And so it's a time now to do that, to keep doing that. Every information that comes down is like, you got to keep doing it. 2021, it's going to be a bit easier. It's still going to be super messy. It's definitely going to be easier, okay? I don't want you to lose hope and faith, particularly those of you that have been in lockdown. That will change, but the changes in the collective and on the globe are continuing. And so things are going to sort of still be pretty messy. And in order for you to navigate this with as much grace and ease and also joy, we're allowed to be joyful. Even if the world is dying around us and other people are in pain, you're still allowed to experience joy. And your joy adds into the vibrational frequency of joy on the planet, and that allows for more joy to be felt and spread. It's pretty simple, actually. It's just the universal laws. So yeah, go within, do that inner work, please. Consider who you are, consider who you want to be. Have a look at what can be shared, what can be gotten rid of, what's old patterns, what's old paradigm, what's old world, what is not serving the growth of humanity. It's really that simple. What is no longer serving the growth of humanity and the growth of yourself? And when you've done that, then consider others in your plans. Consider other people's hearts, other people's minds. Consider how we can work towards more compassion for one another, compromise, consideration, clear, kind communication. Working towards all of these things is just what needs to happen in order for the new earth to be birthed. So first begin the clear, compassionate communication within, with all the parts of yourself, and then turn it to outside and see if that can include other people around you, friends, family, the world at large, particularly within your work. Having a look at how that is of service to others, if it is. And making some changes where need be. And I really thank you for doing that. I know it's stretching a lot of us and it's not always easy, but we're just going to keep going. And I just want to say, we're so over the line already. It's already done. We're already on the way, and it's because of all the beautiful work that you've already done as well. Thank you for that. It just brings me to tears. I'm so grateful that there's so many of us that are awake already and that we can help other people wake up, because it's a really big pill for people to swallow all of this, Maybe you're like me. It's taken me years to get here. It's taken me years to build 100% faith and trust in my intuitive guidance, to build the strong connection with my spirit guides, so I always feel supported and always feel guided by them, even when there are no humans around. And also to get myself into a place where I can constantly look at myself and improve and update, and look at my unconscious behaviors and look at my shadows and look at where I'm contributing in a negative way and update that. As well as just, maintaining some internal harmony and having really good skills to deal with my emotions when they come up as well as the death of the illusion You know, the death of the matrix, that's taken years for that to unravel and die around me. It's been a long time in the making. So, and probably the same thing for you as well. So, you know, finding as much compassion as we can for those who are just waking up now, and knowing that you've been doing all this hard work so that you can be ready for this time right here, right now, and you're so ready. And don't pretend that you're not, because it's such a lie. You're so ready. I know this to be true. Yeah. Oh, golly, what a crazy time. Okay. Yeah, wonderful. I'm going to be offering a couple of courses. I've been really clearly guided to offer a couple of online courses. Certainly over the next 6 months, I'm going to be beginning one on the 22nd of November. That is, it's called Serenity Now! Exclamation point. It's really about returning to that peace within, restoring your own inner peace, essentially, because, as I've said, restoring and returning to your inner peace is also the way that you can build your intuition and build your psychic capacities and build your ability to stay stable and harmonious even when the storm is raging. So I feel really passionate about that. It's going to be a really strong self-love 11 days. In December, I'm going to be offering another 11 days that is very specifically about building intuition. That's going to lead into, you know, what will probably be 11 weeks or maybe even longer, beginning next year. So if you're interested in that, you can come into a long mentorship with me about building intuition, because all my guides keep saying, please do that. That's the most important thing right now. Having that intuitive capacity is just, it's just going to help you to get across this epic transformation with just a lot of grace and beauty. Yeah, it is the thing that holds me the most. Holds me the most is that intuition. It took a long time to cultivate, and I have a lot of experience, a lot of expertise. So I'm so happy to be sharing those with anyone who's interested. I'm also going to be offering, I'm doing a lot of work, a lot of mentor work with empaths and HSPs, because I'm an extremely high on the spectrum of the HSP, the highly sensitive people. So again, it's taken me a really, really long time. Oh my God, it's taken me like 35 years to get a handle on that sensitivity, and now I mentor a lot of people in that. So I'm also guided to offer an online course for the sensitive. So if you're interested in that, I just really want to give you some tools. I'm going to lay them out for you, and you can do what you want with them. But having the tools in place and the understanding of who I am, and also the difference between me and people who are not. Sorry, cut off there. Yeah, having an understanding of what that is, the psychic power. It is a mediumship ability of the empath. Has made a tremendous difference in my life. The world is no longer terrifying to me. It's now a place that I can move through with confidence and empowerment. So yeah, I'm excited as well to be offering some beautiful, beautiful medicine and tools and skills. I'm just gonna skill you all up if you're keen. Yeah, you can let me know. I'll be announcing those things over the next few weeks, okay, and days. Okay, let's see if anyone wants to say anything today. Yes, there is someone here. Okay. Okay, thank you. They're also just reminding me to remind you to, you know, use the tools that are around you. You know, I'm not doing this, all of the things that I've moved through and all of the transformation and transcendence that I've had, all the conflict that I've moved through, etc. within myself, particularly my own personal spiritual development. You know, I've not done it without help. You know, so, you know, use oils, really good high-grade essential oils, really good herbs, herbal elixirs, you know, medicinal mushrooms, you know, Healy. I have a vibrational frequency device now. It's fantastic to just help clear and clean the system. Really, really good food, really, really good water, you know, crystals, yeah, anything that assists you, particularly those things that are made with really high vibrational intention. Just fantastic sound healing, fantastic working with sound, working with frequency. These are all very, very good things. feeling into your intuitive guidance there about which to use if you're interested in some herbal products or some additional mushrooms and you want some recommendation, or the vibrational frequency device, you want to talk to me about that. I have a fabulous friend who's just done these amazing oracle cards that I'm just finding so clear and clean and so new earth. They're super updated. Sometimes I feel like my tarot are a little bit old world, even though I love you tarot. Right and white, I love you cards. Okay, so let me know if you want any extra support or help, advice around that. I can point you in the right direction. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Sikona pikini tilupa makua ala shikina la pumikini tinala suashnilo pumokakani khwachno pamilo ma siko patingila ngumalakani sitinupu chukamo wakanishi hatatako wakana tukata wakatiki mala. Okay. Okay. Thank you. That one was pretty cute. It kind of showed me its physical form. That doesn't typically happen because I don't really need to know. My intentions are always very clear and very strict. Any being that has positive intentions and appropriate information for those watching are welcome to speak through me and speak with me. So I don't necessarily go into too much of getting them to identify as separate beings because it doesn't really seem to matter. But this one was kind of... I'm just waiting to see if it's appropriate. It is bridging worlds. It is bridging a space and a gap between above and below. It is an inner earth creature. And the inner earth creatures are desiring to have more communication with us as a means to harmonize the imbalance that has been caused within Gaia simply from the separation from her consciousness, from man and her consciousness. That has kind of, I almost want to say, burnt the bridge in many ways. And so, yeah, these beings want to come up and speak with you more. They're feeling quite playful and kind of cheeky, but also pretty assertive, It really just wants us to pay attention to the earth, pay attention to the communications that come from noticing and witnessing the earth and witnessing the beauty. Very important, as well as kind of like curling our toes and really digging our toes deep into the earth and like sort of smooching down into the earth so that our feet are covered in the dirt or the sand or like gravel or rocks or whatever. Really digging yourself in and then kind of receiving knowledge and wisdom through the bottom of your feet, through the sort of sensitive pores at the bottom of your feet and your foot chakras, receiving the knowledge and intelligence from the earth. And again, these beings are really going to be supporting us to do that, receiving that up through the bottom of those feet there. And it's just going to be like kind of moving its way up. And the more clear you are in your emotional body, the more resolved you are within your own internal harmony state and with your own emotional intelligence, the more work you've done to clear and clean out the density and essentially move up into your heart space and transcend the ego heart and move up into the high heart, unity heart chakra, the more information you will be receiving when you do that. So yeah, that's going to just increase for you if you continue to stay focused on doing that internal work. Awesome. Okay, it popped me out pretty quickly, so that's it then. Let me just see. I feel like there's someone else here. Yeah, there's more support here. I've just got an Indigenous being here it's a man, Indigenous man, an ancestor, an elder. Not an ancestor of mine, but an elder who comes every now and again to speak with me since moving to this particular land. And he is simply wanting to remind you again and again, this comes up a lot, to notice the beauty of Earth. Don't worry about it. Don't be angry about what's been done to it. Yes, make changes, absolutely. Take steps to make changes, but don't be angry. Don't be annoyed. Don't be frustrated. Don't be worried. You are sending that to her. Notice her beauty. Enough to notice her beauty. Respect her, honor her so much that you witness her beauty and you reflect it back to others. Honor her so much that you point out the things that you love about nature. It's so important, and this message has been coming up repeatedly, the same thing for 3 years. So yeah, if they want me to, I'm going to keep repeating it. And I also remind myself, of course, to do that. And frankly, this really helped me move from being a pretty angry, upset animal activist. You know, I wake up in the night and be so angry and so hurt. Yeah, about the earth and what's been done and the creatures on it. And this information and this message has really helped me to transform that energy that was not productive and actually not helpful into something that is positive and higher vibrational than what has been sent to her before, because destruction is destruction. And if you are sending negative thoughts to her, then you are contributing to the destruction instead of the harmonization. So yeah, blessed be the wonderful planet that we live on. My God, there is nowhere like this. I don't know if you're aware of that, but all the spirits say there's nowhere like this out there. This is just such a unique experience here. This place is so diverse. So much has been sort of collected here. You know, it truly is a living library of, you know, I want to say, multiple galactic consciousnesses have placed the wisdom and information that they've gathered from, you know, so much travel and exploration into this, the Wi-Fi, the hub, you know, the entity, the consciousness that is Gaia. And God, you know, you can jack into that, and I tell you, it's so much more satisfying than jacking into the www, because that's just truth and beauty and holding in that place. There's no separation. If you really allow yourself to go there, there's no discordance. It feels like you're home, you know. This is home for now, so you might as well get used to it and get yourself jacked into her network, because she will hold you and sustain you, and she has an abundance of resources. The scarcity mentality is one of the illusions. That doesn't mean that we can misuse the resources, but there is an abundance of nourishment and sustenance that is available, and it doesn't just come in food or, you know, wood or coal energy. It comes in pure vibrational frequency, and that's a sustainable energy source as well. All right, that's it. So nice to see you and to look at you and to honor you and respect you, and thank goodness that you are here and then you have incarnated. Thank you for watching this, and maybe I'll see you here next week.